Good afternoon, everybody. Are we on? Good afternoon, everybody. Are we here? I haven't heard any grandparents yet. Grandparents, happy Friday. All right, that's better. Well, hey, kids, we have a special treat today. This is going to be one of those days, parents and grandparents as well. Look around, look who you're sitting by. This is one of the most special moments. I like to compare it as a Longhorn to when Vince Young won the University of Texas National Championship. I remember exactly where I was. This is one of those moments. This really is such a treat. And kids, I will tell y'all, we have every president and their wives in the history of the United States and America with us here today. Can y'all believe that? I know, we have such a treat. Parents, grandparents, thank y'all so much for entrusting us with your kids. We love them. This really is one of the most special events and programs we do here at Second Baptist. So without further ado, let's get started. Please welcome our Parade of Presidents.
Good afternoon. We are honored to have you here today as we celebrate our God, our country, and our American presidents. Please bow your head as we pray. Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Please bless our grandparents and parents we honor today. And thank you for the freedom we enjoy. And always, God bless America. In Jesus' name, amen. Please stand and join us in singing God Bless America. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the lights from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with fall. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Please remain standing for the presentation of colors. Pledge to the American flag. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pledge to the Texas flag. Attention, salute, pledge. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one indivisible.
Pledge to the Christian flag. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the Christian flag and to the Savior for whose kingdom it stands. One brotherhood uniting all Christians in service and in love. Pledge to the Bible. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the Bible, God's holy word. I will make it a lamp unto my feet, a light into my path, and I will hide his words in my heart, that I may not sin against God. And you may be seated.
The second grade would like to welcome you to our Parade of Presidents. We ask that you hold your applause until each presidential pair has completed their speeches. And now, sit back, relax, and enjoy your walk through history as we tell you more about the great men and women who have led our country.
Washington. I'm the first president of the newly formed United States. After serving as a general in the Revolutionary War, I was enjoying my quiet retirement at Mount Vernon and never intended to be president. After all, I'm often called the father of our country, and I am proud to be remembered as first in war, first in peace, and first the hearts of my countrymen.
Hello, I am Martha Washington. I was proud to stand by my husband's side, starting a tradition for all First Ladies. I stood by George when he was the General of the American Army. We spent 8 long winters at Army headquarters. Now, Americans call me Lady Washington. I have never felt at home in New York or Philadelphia and was glad to return to our beloved home, Mount Vernon.
Good afternoon, friends. I am Abigail Adams. John and I were fortunate to move to the brand new White House. However, it was not finished, and I had to hang my wash in the East Room. I later brought the first piano to the White House. I took an active role as First Lady. In fact, some people thought I had too much influence on my husband and called me Her Majesty. Hello, friends. I'm John Adams. After serving as our first vice president, I became the second president. During my term, Washington, D.C. became our capital and the White House was completed. I lived longer than most U.S. presidents. My friend Thomas Jefferson and I died on the same day, July 4th, 1826, the 50th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence, which we both helped write.
Hello, friends at Second Baptist. I am Martha Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson, my papa, called me Patsy. My sister and I grew up in Monticello, a Virginia plantation. Papa expected a lot of me, and I was anxious to please him. He believed in simplicity and did not hold formal receptions. However, I did agree to go to Washington with my papa and act as the lady of the house.
Good afternoon, my fellow Americans. I'm the multi-talented Thomas Jefferson, third president of our country. I am probably most famous as the writer of the Declaration of Independence. I had one of the most brilliant minds in American history. I studied half a dozen languages, law, mathematics, science, and philosophy. I was a self-taught architect who designed some of the most beautiful homes in the world. I was also a fine musician. I truly had many interests and talents.
Good afternoon. I'm Dolly Madison. I adored being First Lady after my great Mr. Madison was elected president. Some people even called me the Queen of Washington City. Everyone copied my clothes, and my parties were the best Washington had seen. I will never forget the day in 1814 when the British were about to invade the capital. I quickly gathered the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, and George Washington's famous portrait. Oh, and I had just enough time to save my own portrait, which hangs in the Red Room today.
Greetings. Although short in stature, my influence on America was great. I'm James Madison, the fourth president and the father of the United States Constitution. In 1812, British were illegally stopping U.S. ships, and I was forced to declare war on Great Britain once again. Francis Scott Key wrote our national anthem, The Star-Spangled Banner, during that war. In my spare time, I enjoy playing chess, reading, horseback riding, and taking long walks.
Good afternoon. I am Elizabeth Monroe. Although I fulfill my obligation as First Lady, I never enjoyed the Washington societies. Having lived in Europe, I was expected to entertain lavishly, but only chose to do so on special occasions. All my clothes were ordered from France or Paris at the Saint-Pierre's. My view to a nun throughout Washington. Don't you think I look much younger than 50?
Fellow citizens, I am James Monroe. During my term as president, I wrote the Monroe Doctrine, which warned foreign countries in Europe to stay away from our newly independent neighbors in Central and South America. My beautiful daughter Maria was proud to be married in the White House, most likely in the Blue Room. I am the only president to have a foreign capital named after me, Monrovia, Liberia.
Bonjour, I'm Louisa Catherine Adams. I was born in London, one of the only First Ladies born outside of the United States. I was educated in France. After we were married, we lived in Germany and Russia. I dreaded living in the White House, but worked hard to help John become president. Sadly, my husband was unpopular, and our time in the White House was unhappy.
Good day. I am John Quincy Adams, son of our second president, John Adams. I was the first son of a president to serve as president. We were short, bald, and as stubborn as mules. Every morning at 5, I bathed in the Potomac River. Once someone took my clothes that were hanging on a tree limb. It was embarrassing. Fortunately, a young man came by and ran back to the White House for another set.
Hello, I'm Angelica Van Buren. I acted as First Lady for my father-in-law, Martin Van Buren. I loved acting as First Lady. Guests were received while I sat on a platform like a queen. Although people enjoyed my parties, they criticized my spending habits. I loved wearing enormous ostrich plumes in my hair. I introduced the hoop skirt to the Washington Society. Isn't it lovely?
Good afternoon. I am Martin Van Buren, the 8th President of the United States. I was also the 8th Vice President. I lived to see 8 presidents from 8 different states succeed me. Some people believe that the famous expression, okay, was invented by my campaign staff. Okay was a shortened version of my nickname, Old Kinderhook. My friends used the expression, and soon okay came to me all right.
Greetings. I am Anna Harrison, the wife of President William Henry Harrison. My father did not approve of my marriage to William. But don't worry. Father came to respect and admire my dear William. We built a wonderful family with 10 children,
and one of our 48 grandchildren, Benjamin, even became the 23rd president.
Good afternoon. I'm Sarah Childress Polk. My husband, James Polk, was the 11th president. He was considered one of the most successful of all the presidents. I loved living in Washington, but I was a strict Presbyterian and would not allow dancing, card playing, and liquor in the White House. I've always loved pretty silks and fine laces. How do you like the one I'm wearing today?
It may come as a surprise, but I prayed my husband would not become president. I am Margaret Taylor, the wife of the 12th President Zachary Taylor. For almost 40 years, I was a military wife. We lived in some of the most dangerous places. I hope Zachary would not win the election so we could live a peaceful life at home. I was terribly uncomfortable with being First Lady. Therefore, my daughter, Betty, served as the official hostess.
Hello, friends at SBS. I am the school teacher of Hill, Millard, Fillmore, Love, Abigail Powers, Fillmore. Our engagement lasted 8 years while Millard struggled to be a lawyer. Even when I was no longer teaching, I continued learning. I loved to read. My husband never returned from a business trip without an armful of books for me. When I became the First Lady, I could not believe that the White House did not have a library. So with help from Congress, I made a large room into the first White House library.
Hello, dear friends at SBS. I am Jane Pierce, the wife of Franklin Pierce. Our son Benny was killed right before Franklin was inaugurated. I was too heartbroken to attend any White House functions. Because of my grief, I wore black and was seldom seen. Many called me the White House shadow. I did not like Washington and prayed that my husband lose the second election. I am happy to say that my prayers were answered and Franklin was a one-term president. Good day. I am Mary Todd Lincoln, perhaps the most controversial of all First Ladies. I was known to be outspoken and to have quite a temper. No one was happier than I when Abe became president, and I did everything I could to make his term successful. I loved and had great affection for Abraham and my children. Tad and Willie were the first children to live in the White House. Tragically, Willie died from typhoid fever in 1862. I never got over his death.
Good afternoon, boys and girls. Most of you recognize me as Abraham Lincoln. Did you know I was born in a log cabin and was so poor I could never buy a book? I did love to read and would walk miles to borrow a book. I never thought myself fit to be president. However, I'm grateful some friends saw me that way. Sadly, I served as president during the darkest days of our country, and brother fought brother in the Civil War.
Hello, I am Julia Dent Grant. During the Civil War, I joined my husband near the battle lines whenever help was needed. When we moved into the White House, the country was ready to have a time of fun and enjoyment. I love to entertain. I always made guests feel welcome. After leaving the White House, Ulysses and I took a trip around the world and received many magnificent gifts.
Good afternoon. I'm Ulysses S. Grant. At 17, I entered West Point. I made the military my career and was promoted to general during the Civil War. I led the North to victory, and after the war, I was easily elected 18th president. I was known for being rough. I ate pickles for breakfast, and I smoked 20 cigars a day. Although I was reelected, my second term was filled with scandal. I spent my last few years writing my autobiography, which made my family wealthy.
Good afternoon. I am Lucy Webb Hayes, the wife of the 19th President, Rutherford B. Hayes. The first telephone was installed in the White House while we were there. The first call was to the inventor, Alexander Graham Bell. I was the first lady with a college degree. Did you know I hosted the first Easter egg roll on the White House lawn? And I would never allow alcohol to be served in the White House. Instead, we gave lemonade parties, and my nickname became Lemonade Lucy. Good afternoon. I'm Lucretia Garfield. My friends call me Crete. Spending only 7 months as First Lady prevented me from carrying out my plans to restore the White House to its original condition. When I learned my husband had been shot, I stayed by his side trying to nurse him back to health. After the president's death, I spent 36 years carefully preserving the records of his career.
Hello, I'm James Garfield. I was the last president to be born in a log cabin. I learned to read when I was 3 years old. I worked hard to send myself to college. I was the first left-handed president. Sometimes, for a joke, I'd write a sentence in Greek with my right hand and a sentence in Latin with my left hand at the same time. I was the second president to be assassinated and only served for a short time.
Hello, friends. I'm Frances Cleveland. I was the only First Lady to marry in the White House, and our daughter, Ruth, was the first child born in the White House. The Baby Ruth candy bar, was named for her. I was so sad when Grover was not reelected and told our staff, "Take care of the furniture, we will be back." I was thrilled to return to the White House 4 years later, and I became one of the most popular First Ladies.
I am Grover Cleveland, the 22nd and 24th President of the United States. Although I was born in New Jersey, I grew up in New York State. My father was a Presbyterian minister. I was an honest and hard-working president. I often worked until 2 or 3 in the morning. My picture is on the $1,000 bill, and France gave us the Statue of Liberty during my term. The last words I spoke before my death were, "I tried so hard to do right."
Dear students, I am so glad to be at SBS today. I am Benjamin Harrison's wife, Caroline Harrison. While First Lady, I was the first President General of the Daughters of the American Revolution, and I helped women get into medical school.
When we arrived at the White House, it was filthy, so I ordered it to be cleaned and electricity was installed for the first time. My husband and I were so afraid of electric shocks, we left the lights blazing all night long.
Good afternoon, fellow Americans. I am Benjamin Harrison, the 23rd U.S. President. My father was a congressman. My grandpappy was the 9th president of our country. And my great-grandpappy was the signer of the Declaration of Independence. Wow, was I born in a political family. As president, I let Congress run the country. Oh boy, what a mistake. It's the first Congress to spend more than $1 billion in peacetime. Oh yes, and it might interest you that I was the last president to have a beard.
Greetings! My name is Ida Saxon McKinley. I was in poor health for 20 years before William's election. However, I never let my health keep me from my First Lady duties. I still love being the center of attention. Dressed in my diamonds and lace, I would sit quietly propped up with pillows and hold flowers in my frail hands. The people in Washington describe my health as delicate.
Good afternoon, I'm William McKinley, and I love politics. In fact, I loved campaigning so much that I invented the campaign button. However, I loved my wife Ida even more than politics. But because of her frail health, I seldom stayed away from her for long. In my free time, I enjoyed a good cigar and my pet parrot that whistled Yankee Doodle.
Hello, friends. I'm Edith Roosevelt. Ted was only 42 when he became president, and we brought 6 young children to the White House. Among the many pets we brought with us were dogs, cats, ponies, rabbits, raccoons, birds, and even a snake. Teddy and I believed in letting the children have fun, and the White House had never been livelier. I was proud to create a portrait gallery of the first ladies in the White House. Hi, folks. I'm Teddy Roosevelt. During the Spanish-American War, I became a national hero while serving as the commander of the Rough Riders Cavalry Unit because I believed that the United States should be a world leader and have strong armed forces. I'm remembered for the saying, "Speak softly and carry a big stick." Once while on a hunting trip, I saved a bear cub. After that, America's favorite toy was named the teddy bear.
Greetings, I'm Helen Taft. I met Will Taft at a sledding party. He called me his treasure. As First Lady, I was interested in politics but concentrated on social affairs. The Japanese cherry trees that still bloom on the nation's capital were planted at my request. Our cow was the last to graze on the White House lawn. We turned the stables into a garage by purchasing the first White House automobile.
Good afternoon. I am William Howard Taft. The tradition of throwing out the first baseball pitch of the season started with me. I was also the largest president, weighing over 300 pounds. During my term, the federal income tax was established, and the Oval Office was added to the White House. After leaving the White House, I achieved my lifelong goal of becoming Chief Justice of the Supreme Court.
Good afternoon. I am Edith Wilson, second wife of Woodrow Wilson.
My main concern as First Lady was the health and happiness of my husband. In 1919, my husband suffered a massive stroke. He was very ill. I had to make a serious choice. Should he resign, or should I help him carry out his responsibilities as president? Some people thought that I had taken on too much power, and they said, "We have a petticoat government. Mrs. Wilson is president." However, I am proud to say he did not resign.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am Woodrow Wilson, the 28th president of our great country. I did not go to school until I was 13 years old. However, I loved school so much I taught at 3 different universities. I was known as the professor even after I left. I put my knowledge of government into practice while I was president. World War I broke out while I was in office, and I established the League of Nations. In 1919, I suffered a stroke. My health problems were mostly kept secret, and my wife Edith worked behind the scenes to ensure my duties were all completed. I was able to finish my second term, but did not accomplish any serious work due to my health.
Hello, friends! I'm Florence Harding. Growing up as the daughter of the richest man in Marion, Ohio, I had every advantage. When I married Warren, my father was furious. He wouldn't speak to me for 7 years. Few women worked at the turn of the century, but I loved Warren's newspaper business and worked there for 14 years. The thought of living in the White House was thrilling. I encouraged my husband to run for president. After winning, he consulted me on all important decisions. As First Lady, I opened the White House to the public on special tours. I loved giving garden parties for our veterans. Good afternoon. I am Grace Coolidge. Before meeting Calvin, I taught at a school for deaf children. My husband and I were the complete opposites. He was quiet and serious, while I was warm, friendly, and cheerful. One time, a woman told Calvin that she would bet that she could get him to say more than 2 words. Calvin responded, "You lose." Many people say it was because of my outgoing personality that got Calvin as far as he did into politics. Still, Calvin did not think that First Lady should dance in public, drive a car, ride horses, or talk about politics. After we left the White House, I became headmaster of another school for deaf children, the care of whom was my lifelong passion.
Hello, I am Eleanor Roosevelt. I am proud I was the first of all First Ladies to hold a formal press conference. I wanted to give women reporters who were not allowed into official presidential press conferences access to information. I was responsible for changing the role of First Lady and will always be remembered for working to improve the life of the poor. No other First Lady worked as actively or as outspoken during their husband's administration as I.
Students and parents of SBS, I'm Franklin Delano Roosevelt. I led America through the dark troubled days of the Great Depression and World War II. 4 times, Americans went to the polls to elect me as their president. When I was a young politician, I was struck with polio, and a wheelchair became my home. However, polio did not end my political career. I fought back. Each day I exercised, and I finally gained enough strength to stand theater crutches and leg braces.
Good afternoon. I'm Bess Truman, Harry's blue-eyed, golden-haired girl. Harry and I met at Sunday school when he was 6 and I was 5, and we graduated from high school together. However, it wasn't until he was 35 and I was 34 that we married. I was considered to be down to earth. I refused to pay more than $3 for my weekly manicure, though I accepted a ride to the beauty shop in a limousine.
Hello, friends. I'm Harry Truman. I never wanted to be the president. In fact, as a boy, I dreamed of becoming a concert pianist. I later enjoyed serving as a senator and as FDR's vice president. When I had to take over the presidency, one of my first decisions was to allow atomic bombs to be dropped on Japan. It was a horrifying experience, but I felt like I'd done the right thing. And as I still stand by my well-known expression, the buck stops here.
Hello, I'm Amy Eisenhower. Me and Dwight first met on a trip to Texas. I said he was the spiffiest looking man I had ever seen in all my born days. After we were married, he warned me that I would come second and his country came first. I was a dedicated army wife, moving 28 times while Dwight became a famous general. I enjoyed entertaining the White House, often holding barbecues on the White House roof.
Fellow Americans, I am Dwight D. Eisenhower. I attended West Point and later during World War II, I was the general and commander of the Allied forces in Europe. As president, I was known to be a smooth and effective leader. I ran the country the same way I ran the army. During my term, Elvis recorded his first album, and Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat on a bus, beginning the end of segregation. Camp David, the presidential retreat, was named after my grandson.
Hello, I am Jackie Kennedy. I was fortunate to be educated at the best private schools. I love horses and learned to ride almost as soon as I could walk. John and I met in Washington. Soon we were married, had 2 children, Caroline and John Jr. My interest in arts brought beauty, taste, and culture to the White House. However, my life changed forever with the tragedy of John's death. My courage won in the admiration of the world.
My fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. I am John F. Kennedy, the youngest man ever elected president. After graduating from Harvard, I served in the Navy, and some call me a hero, after I helped rescue my men on the PT-109. During my years as president, I challenged Americans to send a man to the moon. Tragically, my life ended by an assassin's bullet in 1963 in Dallas, Texas.
Hi, y'all. I'm Lady Bird. As you can tell, I'm a Texan, and I love living at our ranch on the banks of the Pedernales River. My real name's Claudia, but when I was a baby, my nursemaid said that I was as pretty as a ladybird. The nickname sort of stuck.
As First Lady, I wanted to clean up and beautify our country. I worked hard at making America beautiful.
On November 22nd, 1963, I was riding through Dallas, Texas, 2 cars behind President John F. Kennedy. Shots rang out, and President Kennedy was dead. That very day, on a plane ready to rush me back to Washington, I became the 36th President of the United States. Of course, I am Lyndon Baines Johnson. I had big plans for our country. I wanted a great society, a country where everyone could look forward to a good education, a comfortable and useful life, and an old age without worry.
Hi, friends. I am Richard Nixon's wife, Pat. After meeting and marrying Richard, we had a busy life in the Navy and his political career. As First Lady, I promoted many charitable causes, and I encouraged people to volunteer. I love traveling and visiting people in other nations. I was the first First Lady to visit China and the Soviet Union. And I was also the first First Lady to enter a combat zone. One of my happiest days in the White House was the day that our daughter Tricia was married in the Rose Garden.
My fellow Americans, I am Richard Nixon. I always believed in the American dream, that anyone can get what he wants if willing to work hard. I came from a poor family and worked hard in law school. Reaching the highest office in the land was a dream come true. I was president when the first man landed on the moon, and I arranged a ceasefire long enough to get American troops out of Vietnam. However, most people remember me as the only president to resign from office.
Hello, friends. I'm Betty Ford. What an honor it was to serve as our country's First Lady. Before marrying Jerry, I was a professional ballet dancer and model. I loved entertaining in the White House and was glad to make it a friendly, cheerful place again. Many people think I was the most outspoken advocate of women's rights to ever live in the White House.
Good afternoon. I'm Gerald Ford. As a young man, I was a football star at the University of Michigan. Just minutes after Richard Nixon resigned, I sworn in as president. 1 month later, I pardoned Nixon because I thought our country had been through enough. During my term, the country suffered inflation and unemployment. I was not reelected to a second term.
Hello, friends. I am Rosalind Carter. I was often called Jimmy's partner. I helped run our family's peanut business and later helped during Jimmy's campaign. During our White House years, I sat in on cabinet meetings and became my husband's roving ambassador. Our White House guests were always put at ease with our traditional Southern hospitality. After my husband's presidency, I love staying busy promoting mental health programs. Jimmy and I continued working on projects to promote peace and human rights worldwide.
Hi, folks. I'm Jimmy Carter. Many of you may remember me as a peanut farmer who became president. During my term, I helped Israel and Egypt reach a peace agreement. I enjoyed traveling to promote peace all over the world. I also enjoyed working alongside other volunteers building houses for those less fortunate. Did you know I reached a milestone birthday, turning 100 years old, and lived longer than any other president?
Hello, students, parents, and friends.
I'm the wife of the 40th President of the United States, Nancy Reagan. Like my husband, I had a career in Hollywood before we were married, but I quit acting and became a full-time wife and mother. I was still considered glamorous and chic. However, many people criticized me. I was known as the president's personal protector. I knew every detail about his busy schedule. The Secret Service did not approve of my involvement.
Good afternoon, friends. I'm so glad that you can be here today. My name is Ronald Reagan, 40th President of the United States. Did you know that I loved jelly beans but hated Brussels sprouts? I was a sports announcer, actor, Governor of California, President of the United States, and husband of Nancy Reagan. My life was blessed. With my good looks, charm, skill at speaking, and the confidence of the American people, even though I was nearly 70 when I was elected.
Hello, friends. What a great day. Seeing old friends is always wonderful for George and me. I am Barbara Bush. As I fondly remember our days in the White House, it was a busy place. Affairs of state were time-consuming, and visiting Bush children and grandchildren kept us very active. As you know, I chose to promote literacy when I was a First Lady. Becoming a reader is the greatest gift you can give yourself. Do yourself a favor and read, read, read.
Good friends and fellow Texans, I'm George Herbert Walker Bush. After serving in the Navy as the youngest pilot, I married the love of my life, Barbara. Family always came first to us. I was dedicated to traditional American values. I wanted to see a kinder, gentler nation. As CIA Director, the Ambassador to China, and the 41st President, I considered it a privilege to serve the American people. Seeing the Berlin Wall come down was a victory for all people. I challenge you to serve your community and let your light shine to everyone around you.
Good afternoon, friends. I'm Hillary Clinton. As a young girl of 14, I wrote a letter to NASA to tell them that I wanted to be an astronaut. I was told that girls were not currently being accepted for astronaut training. When I was First Lady, I worked hard to support equal rights for women. I also worked hard to better the health care of all Americans. I continued that effort as a U.S. Senator. Recently, I happily served our country as a Secretary of State.
Hello, students, teachers, grandparents, hello, students, teachers, parents, and grandparents at Second Baptist School. I am Bill Clinton. As a young boy, I was always interested in politics. I grew up in a small town of Hope, Arkansas, and even became governor of Arkansas. After being governor, I became the 42nd president. During my term, the economy was doing very well. I achieved a balanced budget and helped restore economic growth. I expanded programs to protect the environment.
Hello, wonderful friends. I am Laura Bush. How pleased we are to be a part of your tribute to our presidents and first ladies. As a former school librarian, I feel right at home here at Second Baptist. Many of you have enjoyed reading Officer Bartlett and Gloria, my favorite book to read to children. Education was always one of George's top priorities as president. It is his hope and mine that every boy and girl will be able to attend a school with high standards like Second Baptist. May God's blessings always be upon the United States of America.
Good afternoon, fellow Texans. I'm George W. Bush. Growing up in the great state of Texas with parents who always expected my best, helped me prepare to be president. However, being president is difficult after September 11th, 2001. My biggest job was to make sure that all citizens of the United States were safe, and I'm glad that I could do just that and felt that I did what was right for our country. Laura and I continue to live in Texas. We opened a Bush Presidential Center in Dallas. Hope that you'll stop by for a visit.
Hello, friends. My name is Michelle Obama. As a child, I never thought that I would someday live in the White House. I graduated from Princeton and Harvard Law School and met my wonderful husband shortly after that. Although I loved my career as a lawyer, writer, and First Lady, I worked hard to keep life as normal as possible for our two daughters, Malia and Sasha. My time in Washington was spent promoting issues that are close to my heart, which included getting kids just like the students here at SBS to be active and healthy.
Good afternoon. I am Barack Obama. As the 44th president, it was an honor to serve 2 terms as our nation's leader. I worked my way through college to begin serving with Chicago churches to rebuild their communities. After attending law school at Harvard, I returned to Chicago to teach law. As first a senator and then the first African American president, I did my best to stand firm to my beliefs as I guided my state and my country with hard work and perseverance. You too can achieve your wildest dreams.
Hello, teachers and special friends. I am Jill Biden. Before I was First Lady, the job I loved most was being a teacher. I'm the only First Lady to hold the job outside the White House in 232 years. I was a college student when Joe and I met, and after 5 proposals, I finally agreed to marry him. My passion for education and desire to back to the community led to Book Buddies, which is reading materials to low-income children.
Well, hello. I am Joe Biden, and it's good to see you all. Look, folks, first of all, I am so thankful to be here talking to you today. Things weren't always easy for me. I struggled with a childhood stutter, but I was determined to overcome it. This has been my approach to life and politics. If you fail, try again. Work hard. Persevere. This has helped me become the longest-serving senator from Delaware, vice president, and the 46th president of the United States. Now that I am retired, I'll be spending time with Jill and my family.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the 47th President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump, and First Lady Melania Trump.
Baptist School. We are thrilled to be with you today. When I first met Donald, I never thought our journey would lead us to Washington. I'm the first presidential spouse since Louise Adams to be born outside of the USA. I am Melania Trump. I was born in Slovenia, but became a citizen of this great country in 2006. Knowing 5 different languages was helpful as it hosts foreign leaders around the world. As your First Lady, I tried to bring awareness about bullying through my Be Best campaign.
Well, Melania, we're back.
this crowd. It's huge. I am Donald J. Trump. My road to the White House did not begin in politics, but as a businessman, I put my business skills to work to make my mark on Manhattan and real estate. After years of leading many successful companies, I became the 45th president. Parents, grandparents, and students always know that no dream is too big and no challenge is too great. Nothing we learn for our future is beyond our reach. And now, as your 47th president, I'll continue my pursuit to make America great again.
The presidents were people just like you and me. We hope you enjoy the story that history has to tell in the President song.
People like you and people like me have made a special place in our history. By choosing a goal and by seeing it through, by doing the very best job they can do. People with vision, courage and sense have made it to the White House as presidents. America's future is built on the past. Remember them all from the first to the last. Washington and Adams, Jefferson and Madison, James Monroe and Adams J.Q., Jackson Van Buren, William Henry Harrison, Tyler Polk and Taylor and Fillmore, Pierce Buchanan and Abraham Lincoln, Andrew Johnson and Grant and Hayes, Garfield, Arthur and Cleveland and Harrison, Cleveland again and then McKinley, Theodore Roosevelt, Taft and Wilson, Harding and Coolidge and Hoover and Roosevelt, Truman, Eisenhower and Kennedy, Lyndon Johnson and Nixon, Ford, Carter, Reagan, Bush, Clinton, George W. Obama, Trump, Biden, Trump too. People like you and people like me have made it to the White House in Washington, D.C. They all had a dream and they all did their best. They ran for election and you know the rest. History has a story to tell, so listen very closely and learn it well. America's future is built on the past. Remember it well. Oh, so well.
Our great nation was founded upon principles found in the Bible. If you truly want God's blessing on our country, we must follow His commands. Psalm 33, Verse 12 reminds us, "Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord." As we remember our presidents and first ladies who work to ensure the liberty we enjoy in this great land, let us also pay tribute to those among us who put themselves in harm's way to protect and defend the future of our country. Veterans, please stand as your branch of the armed service is recognized.
In the
Thank you for coming to our Parade of Presidents. Hope it made you proud to be an American. Please join us in thanking Mrs. Long, Mr. Bainbridge, Mrs. Kerner, Mrs. Bramlett, and all the second grade teachers for making this day such a success.
Second grade students, thank you for that amazing walk through history. I know the work that you all have put into this program, and you have made everyone here proud to be an American today. Great job. Grandparents, parents, friends, thank you for joining us for this beloved tradition at Second Baptist School. This is a tradition that students never forget, and I see many of you out there, alumni parents, who took part in this program when you were here. So thank you for joining us today. When I dismiss in a minute, I'm going to dismiss the lower school students first, and if you will stay seated after the lower school students in the seated here are dismissed, we're going to take a group picture before you get up and come pick up your second grader and meet us at the reception. Thanks again for being here today.